She was the only survivor on a deserted island after her ship sank during a violent storm. The howling wind and crashing waves made every moment a struggle for survival. She remembered seeing a cave in the distance and decided to seek shelter, her body screaming for rest. Her days blurred together as she scavenged for food and tried to start a fire without success. The frustration was palpable as night began to fall on the second day, and with it came the chilling realization that she had no idea how long she'd be there. A storm raged on relentlessly, each wave threatening to drag her back into the sea. In spite of her ordeal, she found determination within herself. Using some discarded material from the island, she managed to construct a makeshift shelter to offer some protection against the elements. She then spotted some coconuts and got a simple yet effective way to extract water by making 2 holes at each end with sticks dipped in hot coconut pieces. As the days went by, her shelter began taking shape, almost like an igloo, using more material from the island. She realized this survival trip would become a matter of how long she could last before rescue or when she'd succumb to exhaustion and be dragged away by some predator. Her eyes grew tired but kept scanning for opportunities. As time went on, fatigue became her new companion, and it seemed like an endless battle against the relentless forces that sought her demise, both from the natural environment that wanted to reclaim what hers once was and from the inner struggle of questioning whether it's worth staying alive in these conditions. Her eyes never lost focus, always on the lookout for rescue. One storm eventually gave way to calmer seas, bringing with it a small group of sailors trying to locate a missing crew member who ended up being her. It marked the end of one chapter in her life, a time she almost forgot about, as they helped her settle back into a world that seemed more familiar now compared to where she'd come from. The rescue led her back to memories she tried hard to forget. Though it was nice to have clothes on again and taste fresh food, the feelings inside clashed. She couldn't help but wonder at how little she actually cherished those simple things during her time in isolation. The incident left with her a sense of introspection that had come from living on borrowed time for days. The memory stayed long after her return home, where every sound seemed like it would shatter her newly found peace. In an attempt to find solace, she took up hiking again and began reading about survival techniques, which slowly gave way to a realization: the things that really matter are often overlooked until we face loss or disaster. Her return back into society was not without its challenges, as memories of isolation kept replaying in her mind at random times, usually triggered by some form of natural calamity such as loud thunderstorms. Even now, her reaction to hearing a bird chirp can be a mix of calmness and terror, as the line between life and death got uncomfortably blurred. As time went on, she noticed those close to her became increasingly distant, almost like the isolation had created an unbridgeable gap. It was though they too didn't get it. In hindsight, that isolation taught her that there's no greater strength than human determination, something she found herself questioning when facing impossible odds in real life. It dawned on her one day while sitting alone in a park watching the world go by like a tape recorder stuck in place. Memories made during isolation had been reduced to mere observations about what seemed obvious: people need help.